But you know what? I was gonna tell you earlier, but I'm gonna save this for the opening. Is that I'm getting worried because I'm starting to know the difference of the coins that they have here because they have so many different coins. Like they have a 1, a 2, a 5, a 10, a 20, a 50, a $1, and then a €1, and then a €2.
Okay.
And now I can like feel them out in my pocket, and I know which ones they are. And I kind of happened today, and I was like, oh no, I'm becoming one of them.
That's why you're worried?
Yeah, it makes me a little bit worried because then I'm like, it's happening. I'm
acclimating.
assimilating. Whatever, that too. Big word with an A.
I don't think they'll ever officially accept you.
No, you know why? Because this is the bright side with Mikey and Rachel.
The bright side.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm Rachel.
This is the show where we talk about boys and the things they do to our psyche.
Mikey and I are having a slumber party tonight. We're going to have a pillow fight and we're going to paint our nails and it's going to be so much fun.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets just with you and the 5 other people that listen to this.
Bear, me too. 6 listeners out there. We love you. You're all of our bears.
Yeah, it's good times.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing really good. You know what I did? You know what I've been doing?
What?
Been like freaking out about sort of besides the Euro is through Swing Maniacs. We got this gig to do a new Netflix series that's coming out. It's the first like fully produced Spanish series in Spain for Netflix. Like Netflix have acquired like other series from Spain,
right,
but like those have been like made somewhere else and then acquired by Netflix. So this one's the first one, and it's I forget what it's called. I think it's called I can't remember, but it has to do with the 1920s, and it's their like the first ladies that were doing the operator, like telephone operator.
Oh yeah.
And like doing the switchboard.
Yeah.
And so it's about them basically. And it's in the 1920s and in Madrid, and it's pretty cool. Like we were on set yesterday. I shouldn't be talking about it. Like they told us, like don't talk about it on social media or anything. But I'm like, it's just me, you, and a couple of podcast people.
6 listeners.
It's no problem.
Yeah,
6 of them. Seven now.
Okay.
7. We grew. We're growing.
We grew in that one moment. How special of us.
That's what she said.
Hello.
But yeah, so we did this shoot the other day, and oh my God, I wanted to take pictures of my hair, and you can't see right now, but like they put like I know what it feels like to be bald now because they put this like spray like hairspray, canned hairspray. No, but like hair in it. And then it made my hair completely black, and like it made it look fuller and everything. And I was like,
but your hair is black.
I know, but no, like see this part right here is like it's still too shaved down for them. They wanted it like
like totally
completely
black.
Dark.
I gotcha.
So they put that shit in my hair, and then we like dance, and like every time they would yell cut, or the ladies would come out and like dab us and like put more spray, and I was like, not more of that spray. It took me, I swear to God, half an hour in the shower to fucking rub that shit out. That's not disgusting, but I meant my hair.
I saw the pictures of you. Your little baby face was so cute.
I know, yeah.
You
Can you see it? It's
pinch those little cheeks.
I'm kind of done with my beard. I'm kind of done with it. It's just
I like the shaved look. No, it makes you look so
I know.
cute.
I know. No, I'm done with my beard. Like I don't really want a beard
Goodbye,
anymore. Like
beard.
I might keep it like a little bit scraggly, but like I think I'm gonna like just keep it real short and just kind of.
No, it looks good.
But it's cool. But yeah, so we're doing that, and then we're doing like 2 more shoots. But it's let's see, next Wednesday. They shoot from 1:30 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning, and we're like,
hello.
Huh? And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be a party scene. It's gonna be in the center of the city, and we're like, oh my God, it's fucking intense. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be great. And they like dress some of the girls up in like these like horrible, like the 1920s was a real bad fashion for women, like normal fashion. Like it was great for gowns and shit. It was awesome, but like like.
The
all women
stuff.
should look like rectangles, and like keep real like hats real close to their face, like they can't see shit. Oh man, that was ridiculous. But like it was real cool for guys. Like we had some baller
suits.
Yeah, it was dope. And then so we've been doing that, and it's been some good stuff. How about you? What you doing? Where you been? Where you go?
I just got home from Chicago. Cheaton.
It's from Chicago.
From Chicago. Okay, well, I wasn't actually in Chicago. I was actually in Northwest Indiana. But I had to fly into Chicago.
How dare you?
I know. But my grandmother turned 85, and we had a little family reunion and birthday party for her.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was
I saw
so
the picture
fun.
that you posted of that like backyard or lake or fucking
yeah.
amazing nature picture.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that is my cousin's backyard. He just bought a house.
Beautiful.
It's on a lake. It's a man-made lake, but it's a beautiful lake.
Who cares?
Right? Wasn't that gorgeous?
Yeah,
Okay,
it really was. Like,
so-
like I'm not one for like nature, but like good scenery like that, I'm just like I
Hello.
appreciate. Yeah.
He is such a bachelor. First of all, he bought this house. It's like super 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the nines. Like the front of the house is actually like the back of the house. Do you know those houses where you have to like drive around and then the garage is in the back, and that's like where it looks like the front of the house actually is. And he has like, he's really into fishing, and so he has all of these fish that he caught and a replica of a hammerhead shark that he caught on his wall.
Adorable.
It's really not actually.
It's adorable. I mean, like it's adorable. It's like look what I've caught. They're still here. They're never leaving.
And then he like built this huge table for his living room that's supposed to be like a bar. And I know. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a bar in my house. And I'm like, oh, the ladies will love that when they come over.
Fucking giggity.
He's also one of those dudes who like, he goes through phases, but like a lot of the time he has a giant handlebar mustache. And he's like, oh, the ladies love it. And I'm like, I can assure you they do not. And he's like, oh, but
Ladies
they tell
love
me
handlebar.
they tell me that it looks cool. And I'm like, yes, but they don't want to kiss that. Like they're going to tell you it looks cool, but they're not attracted to you when you have it on your face. Like his face shaved is so much more attractive than the disgusting handlebars. Don't worry, he won't be listening to this.
No. But this is funny. Rachel, you have this way of speaking when it goes like, I call it for real Rachel.
Oh.
For real Rachel like talks like in a very straightforward, I'm going to enunciate.
I'm going to say every
this is
single
what they
letter
really mean.
in this word. Yeah.
It's good. It's funny. It's funny when you get like that because I'm like, okay, Rachel's really, I need to really understand.
You need to understand the emphasis that I'm putting on here because them reels.
Them reels, Rachel.
But it was fun. I like got to see my parents and my brother and
nice.
and all
it looked
all
like
my
fun.
Cousins. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was
that's
fun.
cool.
You know how it is.
Grandma's 85.
Grandma's 85. She wore a tiara. She's so cute. She's the cutest. We'll have to post a picture because she's so freaking cute. But you know how it is like family reunions. You always have like a little bit of drama come out.
Oh yeah.
It was like some of that, and a lot of it was like stuff that I'd never realized before. Like I grew up going to my grandmother's house and like hanging out with all my cousins, and it was like finally
hidden secrets.
Yeah, finally all this stuff was dawning on me, and I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. So
that's so funny.
So that
it's
was
like,
weird.
oh, that's why they like shoveled me away from everybody else when they were fighting or something.
That's why. Never understood before.
Oh yeah, man. I think every family has a couple like little things like that come up when you're older.
Yeah.
Like little secrets. I mean, shit. So I swear to God, I can write like a trilogy of like movies from my family, like real life stories, and just like put them out. I've always wanted to do that. Like the story of how my parents actually came to America is the most ridiculous, funny, sort of real thing ever happened.
Sort of real.
And then all the little secrets and all the little like tall tales that we have in our family. So I'm sure. I mean,
same thing in my family. Same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it was really cool. Today, right before we popped on here, I told you to take a look at the Swing Nation, our buddies over there at Yahudi and stuff. They come out with their newest video. Hey friends, hey Manu. Hopefully this sounds good. If it doesn't, fuck off.
Just want to say hi to you, Manu. No big deal. Just chilling, just hanging out over here. Another day in paradise.
All Phil Collinsing it up and shit.
Phil Collins. Just drinking my Arnold Palmer.
And all the names, just names. But they had. I mean, the video had a really good mashup video, supercut video of Don Hampton and John Dokes dancing together to Spelunky, of course, Don's favorite song.
Yes.
And it's so amazing to see how they had a thing.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a routine. They just knew when things were gonna happen. They were like, let's play it like this and let's play it like this. I mean, watching that, like, for me and maybe a lot of other dancers, I think would like watching that is one, emotional.
Yeah.
Because of course she's amazing and she just passed away. But at the second time, just emotional, just because like she's amazing. It's beautiful to watch.
She's so good. She's so animated.
Yeah, and it's like a lesson in theatricality, performance stuff, and also musicality in general.
Totally. She has so much going on stage, even when she's not doing anything. She's just standing there, you know?
Yeah. It's like it's presence.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We miss her dearly, but that was really beautiful. Thank you, Manu, and the guys at Yehudi and Swing Nations for putting that up on the YouTubes and on the Facebook. Go check them out.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Little shout out. Little shout out.
Thanks.
Shout out. So I'm heading off to Lindy Shock, which one always sounded dirty to me.
I'm shocked.
Two, yeah. And two, it also sounds like what it would be like if a bunch of Lindy Hoppers got together and like had a metal band. We are Lindy Shock. That's what I seriously. I've always thought. I'm like, that's funny. What the metal band would be. That's what the metal band would be. So I'm going out there for the first time, and it's like a shit ton, like it's one of Europe's like biggest events.
Yeah.
And I've never been, and I'm gonna go just as an attendee. I'm like just hanging out. So, but I can't wait. No, but I love that because I can't wait to like social dance my butt off. Like that's like I'm going there like as like me from like a couple years back where I was just going to events just for the fuck of it, and I'm like going there with like just the attitude of I want to social dance and I want to hang out and I want to like experience it as much as possible.
Oh, Bear, I'm so
like,
excited for you.
Exactly. I'm so excited and scared because that makes me feel like, oh no, what if I don't know how to dance anymore and I have really bad dances?
Do you need to take your binky with you?
Yeah, I'm going to take my binky
with you. Your binky and
me.
Mr. Snuggles?
My binky is called Basil Hayden's, and it's Kentucky's finest bourbon. So that's my binky, and I'm gonna have it in my hip with my flask.
Oh,
so that's what I'm taking
delicious.
with me. But I mean, like with all that social dancing, like it's still, even after like all these years, and maybe it's just my own personal journey, but maybe probably people out there have the same idea. I feel like sometimes like I don't always bring my A game.
Yeah.
But I feel like once or twice during an event, like I feel like I'm gonna be like, yeah, and I feel really great.
Yeah.
And then like I know like the next day I'll probably not feel the best. So that's why I always get like really weird on myself. And then I feel like, oh no, I'm having these bad dances. And so it always makes me feel like real strange and weird. But how do you deal with bad dances?
How do I deal with them?
Yeah.
I mean, usually I just like chalk it up to like, you know, just it being a one-off, and then that's it, you know? I mean, I don't know.
So you don't think much, you don't think much of it afterwards? Like you kind of like, oh, that was kind of bad, and then like move on?
I mean, it really depends on the situation. Like sometimes, like if it's
like when was the last time you had a bad dance?
Probably at Atomic a couple weeks ago.
I love that we always go back to Atomic for our goods and bads.
For the goods and the bads.
That's going to be their new slogan.
Well,
Atomic Ballroom, the goods and the bads.
There's just so many humans there. And
that's true.
The people there love to do the thing where they like slide up and like put their hand in my face and they don't ask me to dance.
Oh yeah, the good old like, would you like to dance in this dance already in progress?
Oh yeah. And so this guy did that, and he like put his hand out, and I was like, hello. And he just like stood staring at me, and so I just stared back, and he was like, would you like to dance? And I was like, yes, I would love to dance. Thank you for asking.
Nice. See, that's the thing. We're not fucking downing people for asking them to dance, but like ask. even if it's in a fucking different language, like say it in your language, because usually dance is sounds the same in almost every language.
Totally.
Just
And
ask.
people will get the gist. Also,
Say
like,
it with words.
you know, I'm not an object. I'm a person.
Exactly. And it's the funny thing of like, I kind of feel your pain. Like I know, like I know that being like a girl is also like even more so. You probably get it even more than I do, but like I feel like I still get it too. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, say the words.
Yeah.
Like I feel comfortable saying to someone, it's like, hey, you want to dance? Or like, want to dance? Like, be
Yeah.
real casual about it, but like ask the question instead of assume and like hold the hand out, because it's so freaking weird sometimes.
And then this person was drunk. So they smelled really bad and they were like a little out of control. And then they kept not holding onto my hand and holding onto my arm. Like not even my wrist, but like way like on my forearm.
What
And
the hell?
I know. I'm chalking it up to him being super drunk. But so I like squiggled my hand out and like squiggled my arm out and then put my hand into his hand. And he was like, oh, okay, sorry. I'm really rusty. And I was like, well, I mean, I assume that you've seen another human being recently and you know where an arm is and you know where a hand is. So, I mean, if not, like, we can reveal it.
I get it confused sometimes.
It's all right. It's confusing. But that dance was not, it wasn't good. I left being like, I'm not going to dance with him again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, would you maybe if he wasn't drunk, or it was just because you were drunk? He was drunk. He was drunk.
I mean, it's hard to tell because I've never danced with him before, and I've never danced with him sober, so I don't like. There are people who, when I know they're drinking, I'm like, I'm not gonna dance with them because they cuckoo banana boat. But if, but you know, like if they're sober, then I'll totally dance with them.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see. Bad dance to me. It could be many different things, right? Like, I mean, it could be like situations like that where like someone drunk comes up to you and you're like, ugh.
A gajillion, yeah.
Yeah, and then it could be other things like you just don't connect with somebody, and I felt it before, and like, let's see, I can't remember the exact last time that I had. Oh no, I did have it. Oh my god. Oh no. This is like, I love dancing with everybody of different levels and everything for sure. But like, and this lady was good. But the thing was that she just kept like spinning so fast that it was like jerking my hand and she would just do things and like she would turn so hard. I think she thought it was a lead. Like, and I was like going through and I'm like, whoa, the hell? And so I danced with her many times over the weekend. And she got me for one of the last songs of the band. It was this weekend, a couple weeks ago in Portugal. And she got me for the last song. And, you know, the last song of the band is always like high energy. And I was just like, I promised myself I wouldn't say no to anybody because I really wanted to just go out there and just enjoy myself, you know?
Yeah.
And whatever. I could have said no knowing that. But I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's go for it. And in this dance, I was like, I'm going to stay closed until they like really kick up the volume in their song. And I was like, cool. So I stayed closed and I could feel like she's like, why was staying closed? Like a caged animal, almost like, oh my God. And I could feel the energy like inside her, like starting to build it. And then finally we started like swinging out and stuff. And then she started doing these things where I was just like, ooh. So like I got a better grip of her hand.
Yeah.
And her hand would come up like on the end of moves and stuff. And not like a lot, but like enough where she would feel like that was a lead. So I was like, holding her down.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah.
not holding it down.
Pinning
holding the
her
hand
down.
Yes. Oh my God. That would have been even worse. Like, stop it. No.
Just
no, it's
follow.
more like just holding the hand down and like slowing down through the turns. And then like by the end of the dance, like it was okay. But like then I was like, oh no, it's happening again. And then I was like, oh, it was weird. Cause it was like, besides this like one little thing, every time she turned around, it would be so fast.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't feel good and she'd feel like ahead of me. And I was like, what?
Oh man.
It got me like really like scared because I was like, I could try to like help her out or feel like a dickhead, or I could just like let her do her thing.
Yeah,
and I was like trying to go back and forth and oh man. And like, that wasn't the worst dance. Like she was on time. but sometimes
Yeah.
just did not click.
Man, I have to sympathize with her because I feel like I used to be so much like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like for me, it's like she wasn't a bad dancer. Like I was watching her dance with other people, and I can see this one little thing, and it's that little like stupid thing in my head where I can't click off. You know,
Yeah.
like I tried to, but every time I just get right back into it. But I sympathize her too. Like I remember that feeling for sure. But I was like, you're not a bad dancer. It's not a bad dance because you are bad at this. It's like it feels bad because we're not clicking because of this one thing, but also then I'm fighting myself. You know, it was like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh man.
So like, I mean, bad dances, right? Bad dances could be this like fucking stupid thing that just happens and you can't click off and you don't connect with somebody. Like, okay, here's another thing. I always feel like I have bad dances with a certain female dance professional
Okay.
out there that I will not say.
Cool.
And I just never have a good dance with this person. And I'm just like, I wish I could because she's fantabulous, but I just can't. And I'm just like,
Sometimes I feel like there's like real incompatibility with people. Like sometimes I just like, I like that person when they dance. Like I like watching them dance when they dance with other people, and I like them as a person, and I think they're a good dancer. And then as soon as we connect, I'm like, what is going on?
yeah.
You know?
That's something that I've always liked about. I was gonna make a joke about it, but I decided to go serious. It was like about like me and you when we dance, like we're compatible, like because like we're funny and stupid.
Okay,
and
well let's
horrible.
just hold the phone right there because let's just talk about how funny we are. We are so funny.
Like every time we stop talking, my face hurts because I've been laughing so much.
Literally? Like, do you even know?
I can't even spell no.
Literally, I can't even right now. Like, I am literally just laughing so hard because it's like so funny.
Oh my god! It's moments like this where I wish we were like sitting in front of each other because I would be throwing things at you. Going, like, this is hilarious.
It would be more fun if we were in person.
Yeah, it's true. But that's the thing is like it's like one of those things like you were saying, like sometimes it just doesn't click on the dance floor.
Yeah.
But like for us, like we get in these modes where we're just like throwing silly shit around and like I'm just like I'm trying to get on your wave and you're getting on my wave and then like we kind of like flow
right
together.
in the wave, man.
Yeah. But also to be fair, like sometimes like I'm not gonna, it's not like not clicking, but sometimes when we get together, like we get so like stupid with it that we just start laughing at each other. But that's what we like kind of thrive off of as people in general.
Sometimes I'll start acting a little silly with people who I'm dancing with, and they do not like it. They do not like the silliness.
Yeah.
And then I have to bring that to a stop real quick. No, why?
You know why? I think because like as you're saying, it's like I think that people forget that like you're like, you know, be really funny, and then you do it.
Yeah.
As opposed to people like going, you know, be really funny and just like talk about it and never actually act on anything. But you're like, you know, be really funny if I did this stupid thing, you know, as opposed to other people going like, well, I'm just gonna be on the end of your arm, or I'm just gonna be leading you through things.
Yeah.
Like you dare to fuck up because you're funny, because you think it's funny.
That is true. I am always willing to take a risk for the sake of laughter.
Yes, and that's why we get along so well.
It's true. It is true. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but
yeah, I mean, most of the time it doesn't work out. Let's be honest.
Look, you gotta hit the ball 1,000 times to make a goal. It's like soccer. You know,
in soccer, what do you hit the ball with?
Your foot. Sometimes,
okay, just making
or
sure.
as the Europeans call football. I know that for a fact. Because that's called science. And
science, I believe it's called.
Science. And look, like sometimes you win a soccer game and you've only hit the ball once into the goal. Like, is that exciting? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, isn't bowling exciting? Obviously.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So, speaking of soccer, have you ever fallen asleep in the middle of a dance?
No, I haven't. But okay, so the very first swing battle I went to was in Fort Collins back in 2008, and my
Good old Fort
Collins, Colorado, and my first team, Jitterbugs Anonymous, went to compete there, and I think it was on Saturday night. It was a late night, probably like 4 a.m., like really towards the end of the dance. And I was sitting on a bench next to Brett, and I fell asleep sitting up on the bench. And
I fall asleep around Brett too.
What a boring guy, am I right? It's like, can that guy just make me laugh for once? Anyway, he was sitting next to me, and he said that people were coming and sitting down next to me and asking me to dance. And then I wouldn't respond because I was asleep. And he'd be like, dude, I think she's asleep. And
oh my God, that is the fucking hilarious
thing. The last song, this dude who had already asked me to dance, apparently, while I was asleep, drug me off the floor. Like, he just like grabbed my hand and pulled me up off the floor without asking me. I was like totally asleep, and then was like, we're going to dance. It's the last song. And so I like, but it was like, it was back in those days where it was like Lindy Hoppers did blues dancing and blues dancers did Lindy Hop. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when it was not so much defined.
Yeah, it was like Lindy Hop at the main dance, blues at the late night. And so we were like blues dancing. So I just like rested my head on his shoulder and dozed back to sleep.
Do you remember who it was?
I don't remember who it was, and honestly,
because see, that's how I know for sure you were falling asleep. Is like you could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody, but I'm pretty sure that whoever it was probably doesn't dance anymore, or if they do, they're like a blues dancer.
That's so funny. That is fucking hilarious. So there's been 2 times. For some reason I usually can remember both of them. I can't remember the second one.
That you fell asleep during a dance? Like during an actual dance?
Like while I was moving.
Okay.
Like I can feel myself fall asleep. So it's okay. Falling asleep, like not like completely falling asleep and like falling in a heap or anything. Right. But like it's like the falling asleep that you get behind the wheel of a car sometimes, like when it's really just late.
Kind of doze a little.
Yeah, where you doze a little bit and you kind of like the shock kind of gets you back into it. You know, like of like like weightlessness a little bit. It was at Lindy Groove. It was a few years ago. Not a few years ago. It was like 4 years ago probably. Okay. And I can't remember who it was. I know they had dark hair, and that was about it. And someone introduced me to them. Like, I think it was someone that I knew, and they were like, hey, yeah, my friend is here. Like, they're new. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to meet them. Sure. Hi. How you? Oh, yeah, you know a little bit. Yeah, let's dance. And so I started dancing with them, and everything was fine. Like, it was great. Like, yeah, she was a beginner dancer, and it wasn't, like, crazy, like, I can swing out or anything. But, like, it was, like, easy. It was an easy song, too. So I was like, great. But I don't know what the hell happened. Like, I just started, like, dozing off, and like my head is like,
it's so weird. Like, were you doing Lindy Hop?
It happened.
Was it like a moderately tempoed song, or was it like a really slow song?
No. It wasn't a slow song. It was like a moderate tempo. It was like at least 150.
This is weird.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's like Lottie speed, like Lottie by Count Basie. Like it's like that speed almost, right? So around 140, 150, maybe 160, around that area. But the thing is like, I think she saw. And like her expression went from like, yay, we're dancing, to like just stone cold, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, and I just, and at the end I was just like, huh. And I know it happened like 3 distinct times where I could just feel my body like shock out of it. Like I was like, the fuck is going on? Like, this is so weird. Like, I didn't work that day. Like, I just came to Lindy Groove to hang out. I wasn't tired. I wasn't feeling anything. Like, even later that night, like I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna nod off when I go to sleep. I was actually kind of scared. Like I was like, maybe I'm too tired to drive.
Am I too tired?
Yeah, like I don't even know anymore. I'm like, am I having a heart attack? Like, is this what a heart attack feels like? You just kind of fall asleep. Like,
if only. If only.
Right? And I just felt so bad for the person. Like, I don't remember who it was, and I don't think they really dance anymore. Probably, obviously, because of me.
Because
But,
of you.
but it was so frightening. There was another time where it happened at a dance event, and it was a big dance event, and it was just so weird. I don't know what the hell happens to my body where it's like, this is boring.
Like
or
you're
like
on
like,
autopilot or something.
yeah, and I just like shut off. Yeah, because it feels like that. Like when you like when you drive like down the 5 in California, like it's just there's some areas where it's just so straight.
So
You're
boring.
just like, yeah, it's so boring. So yeah.
I mean, I have like sometimes when I go to Atomic, because I go with Lance and Vicky and they want to stay till the very end, I get so tired that I lay down on the floor with my purse as a pillow and I fall asleep. Like on the dance floor. And sometimes I've had people like sit down next to me and just like start chatting. And I like wake up and I realize that they're talking to me and they're like in mid-sentence.
Do you think maybe people do that to you because you're actually talking in your sleep? That'd be interesting to find out. Let's ask Brett.
I don't know.
Brett, is he around? Brett.
He's not around. He's not around, but we can ask him later. I feel like I don't talk that much in my sleep.
I mean, how would you know?
Because I feel like Brett would say something. Like, I feel like he would be...
But what if it's like a long joke that he's always had?
I feel like he'd be like, let me tell you about all the stuff that you were saying last night. It was a doozy. Especially because my mom used to sleepwalk a lot. And so...
There you go.
I know. So, like, it is in the realm of possibility that I could do those things too, but I don't feel like I usually talk in my sleep. I did have a roommate once who talked in her sleep a lot and like screamed in her sleep. That was terrifying.
Oh, no, night terrors.
Yeah.
Night terrors. Yeah, there was actually one time, I don't know if she'll listen to it, but like night terrors for sure. I mean, we're so off topic, but we don't give a fuck, but it's hilarious. One of the first gigs I ever did with Pamela from Lithuania was in Hull in northern England.
Okay.
And we shared a room together and we fell asleep. It was like real late after the dance and she's over in her bed and I'm over in my bed and I'm just like kind of falling asleep but like listening to some music and then all of a sudden she like fucking pops up and goes ah! And then right back to sleep. Like it lasted
That's exactly
it lasted for like 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. And I looked over and I was like, Pamela? And no response.
That's
and I looked over and
what happened to my roommate.
I was like really scared. So I like looked over. She was breathing. I was like, okay, well, that was a night terror. I'm gonna tell her in the morning. I can't wait to tell her.
Oh my
And so I told her, I was like, do you know that if you do this? And she's like, I don't think so. Like she was very hesitant. She's like, I don't think so. I was like, because you did it last night. And she got like so red and started laughing. She's like, yeah, I do. Like I used to do it a lot when I was a kid. My mom told me. And I was like, oh my God, and we just crack up about it because apparently she doesn't do it that much anymore. But every great once in a while, it'll happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's hilarious.
The last time I saw my mom sleepwalk was I must have been maybe a teenager. We were in a hotel room. It was like my family. We were on a road trip to like see my grandparents or something in Indiana. And I was sleeping with my brother and I was like on the side that was closest to the nightstand. And my mom was in the other bed on the far side. And I was like kind of dozing but having trouble falling asleep because I had to sleep with my stinky old brother. And it's disgusting. And she gets up all of a sudden and she comes over and she goes, hey, that's mine. And she grabs my cup of water and she pours it on the floor. and then she goes, now it's all wet. And then she went into the bathroom, filled my cup back up with water, put it back, and went back to sleep.
Well, I mean, that's so nice. That's very nice of her to do.
She does
I mean,
not remember a thing.
Also, I mean, now I know where you're crazy.
Oh my God. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Oh man. Oh, so there's this other thing, right? So like we've been talking about like social dances, but like back to Pamela.
Okay.
She came to the States and we were doing a couple different gigs and we were getting ready for ILHC a couple years back, and we had a routine. And we were working on like a full month, like every day in the studio for like a couple hours. And then we perform it like 4 days before we head out to ILHC at Atomic
Okay.
on like a Tuesday night, and it was like a really unusually like light Tuesday night.
Okay.
So it made it even better. I was like, great, like no one's here. We're just gonna like dry run, and we do it, and everything feels okay. Like we're like hesitant at a lot of things, but then like at this one moment where like it's like the big cool beginning of the end
Crescendo.
outro feeling, yeah, like feeling of the ending, like we're gonna build up all the way and then it's gonna finally end with the last note of the song. Great. I fall. I like tripped myself. Like I just like put my foot behind me and then started to move. Like I was just like, I'm a professional dancer, y'all. Like obviously, right? I put my foot where I'm going to be and I'm gonna go blah. And I just tripped and ate so bad. And then you can hear like on the video, like you can hear the whole crowd just gasp because I fall hard and without my hands on the ground. Like I just fell on my ass.
Man. And
just,
like once you get to a certain age, when you fall down, it's not funny anymore. Like people are concerned for you, Like when you're
thanks.
a teenager
Yeah, I get
and you
old.
fall down, people are like, "Oh, you fell down, what an idiot!" But then, like once you're like 25 and you fall, people are like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Exactly. Like audible like gasps from the audience, and then like I just like remember, I felt like I was down there for like 5 hours, and then I felt like I was looking up at Pamela, like going like, how did I get here, and how do I get back up? And then I look at the video, and I was down for like half a second, and until I looked up and like jumped up into my position.
Of course, of course. Man.
But like that feeling of like falling in a routine ruined me for like 2 days afterwards. And like Pamela was like, it's fine. She's like trying her best to like console me. Like, it's fine. It happens. It's so good to happen there.
It happens to every guy.
Time.
It's really common.
Yeah, right? It's okay. And I'm just like crying in the corner. It's like in a fetal position. Like, oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. So like I like come ILHC, like I was petrified of that moment. And when it happened, like I just remember thinking to myself, and like my body was just like moved everything out of the way and like made sure I made that turn happen. Oh my God, it was hilarious.
And it went better?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. I didn't fall.
Oh man, I remember it was falling. My first class or like level tryouts that I'd ever been in was at Lindy Fest in 2007, I think. And I went with like a big group of friends. We were all trying out, so excited. And one by one, all of my friends start getting placed in the advanced track. I'm not getting placed. And like,
I can see where this is going. This is just gonna be hilarious.
And so I'm like getting really nervous because I'm like, oh, I want to be on the advanced track with all my friends, obviously. And so you know how it go, like the tryouts go. You have to dance, and they dance, and like the longer you have to dance, the less likely it is you're gonna get picked. And I'm like one of the last groups out there still dancing, and I'm like, okay, I really gotta start putting my cool stuff on. So I'm like trying to slide across the floor with like my shell-toed suede shoes and like trying to do all this fancy stuff, and I slide. I was just like doing a general like slide across the floor, and I
just trying to look cool, right?
Slipped and I fell right in front of Andy and Nina, and and I remember being down there and being like, well, I'm in the intermediate track now.
You know what I mean? I guarantee if you had looked up to them and said like, hey, if you had just said that like, hey, I guess I'm in the intermediate class then, I bet they would have been like in the advanced just for knowing.
You know what though? Like, oh man, I was just that was before I was able to have like such a good sense of humor about myself. I was so like at the time I was so embarrassed by it, and which is funny because I don't really feel like I get embarrassed very easily anymore.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know why I was so embarrassed by it, but I was probably because
Were you teaching by then? Maybe assisting.
Gosh, I have no idea.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because like I feel like it's being in front of people and talking, like at some, especially at the very beginning of like teaching or whatever profession where you have to get in front of somebody and start talking.
Yeah.
You're gonna bomb.
Yeah.
And you kind of get used to bombing, basically. Like, I'm used to bombing and moving on, like, for sure.
I feel like I started teaching shortly after that. Like, it was like as soon as I started teaching, I was teaching all the time, like very regularly, and then it didn't stop until we moved to LA.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, you were teaching there all the time.
Yeah. Sure. So I don't think I was teaching quite yet, though.
So here's the thing, right? Being taught on the dance floor, has that ever happened to you?
Yes. A couple. Well, okay. I got a couple stories.
Oh man, I just saw your eyes go like all the way through your past, and then like come back here, and you're like, okay, here we go. This is what I get.
So many times, leads ask me to teach something to them on the dance floor. We'll be like in the middle of dancing.
Really?
Yeah, we'll be in the middle of a dance, and they'll be like, "Can you teach me a move?" And I'll be like, right now?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, just like something really quick." And I'll be like, "Yeah, like, you know, the social dance floor is not a really good place to teach, and like, I'm just here to dance. If you want to take classes, they've got all sorts of classes you can sign up for, or if you want a private lesson with me, you can sign up for a private lesson." And then they're always like, "Oh, you're lame. Okay, whatever. What a party pooper." That's what I'm imagining you're saying in there. Of course. About me. Always a negative. And
always. That Rachel that has no sense of humor.
That Rachel. It's like, okay, for once, can she just not?
Take yourself so damn seriously? Oh my God.
So many people ask me to teach them on the dance floor, and I don't know what it.
That's so weird.
I don't know what it is about me, because I experience this in life where like people will talk to me randomly on the street when I'm walking, or like in the grocery store, maybe like a year ago, this old woman came up to me and like decided to have an hour-long conversation with me about the strawberries and how like I needed to go to Gelson's because that's where all the ritzy old Jews hung out. And obviously I was a Jew because my name is Rachel. And so she wanted to drive me down the street to the fancy grocery store where all the old Jews hung out so I could see how ridiculously priced the strawberries were there.
This is hilarious. It's just like, hey, you'll feel my pain. You're a fellow Jew. Let's talk. Let's chat about these strawberries.
About how ridiculous these strawberries are.
And then you were like, no, let me show you this other place. So you took her to Whole Foods and showed her the strawberries there.
No, I was like, stranger danger. I'm not getting in the car with you, you crazy lady. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, shit. She's going to lure me into her car, and then she's going to fucking kill me. She's going to kill me.
I'm so glad you didn't go and she didn't kill you. But, like, what if you really did? Like, oh, man, that would have been hilarious. That would have been even further, such a funny, hilarious story. But, like.
That lady was cuckoo.
Just as a side note, whoever made up Stranger Danger, I need to look that up because that is genius.
To you. Congratulations. I mean, Stranger Danger. Man, seriously.
So I've had a few people ask me to teach them something on the dance floor, like a move, like I'll try something and it doesn't completely work out. Yeah. Like, where was that thing? And like maybe I'll go through it every once in a while. But I was like, oh no, don't worry about it. You got it. Don't worry about it. Like I didn't lead it right, or I'll take the blame or something like that. If I really wanted to like get out of the situation, but sometimes I'll just be like, this is what it is, and this is how I get out of it. Oh, okay, cool. Every once in a while. But I remember one and it was very, very far back when I was a kid. I went to this swing dance club called Music City in Orange County, and I like totally tagged along with my older brother and his friends.
Oh,
my brother
cute.
My brother did not want me to go, and they were all like, "Yeah, come on!" And so like they took his old ID, and I kind of looked like it.
Yeah.
And then like. Like the guy in the front totally like marked my hands, like underage but still allowed in there. I was like, must have been like either 16, 15 or something, and then I had to be 18, so fully fucking went in. But here's the thing, I sat in one corner all night long, didn't even take off my jacket, and watched everybody dance because it was the first time I've been to like a swing dance club where everyone on the dance floor was like jam packed and dancing. Yeah. And I was just like, wide-eyed, like watching everybody going, oh my God, this is insane. The band was going. I think I've talked about it before, but anyways, one of my brother's friends, who was actually one of the first on the first season of Orange County Housewives,
Really?
Real Housewives of Orange County. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, her name was Joe. Yeah, and
Oh my
and
God.
she started dancing, but way before that show happened. So, anyways, but she dragged me out on the dance floor, and then and we started dancing, and I knew, like, the basic 6 times stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. I thought I was hot shit, but I was just like, oh my God, I don't know anything. People are doing round things and whatnot, and then. And then she takes me out there, we dance, and she's like, great. She's like, yeah, that was fun. I was like really excited. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll start dancing now, like that I've been sitting down for 2 hours. And then she goes, yeah, that was, but I mean, do you know how to do a swing out? And I was like, huh? I was like, I hadn't even heard about it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know what the fucking names
Yeah.
were really back then. So she starts trying to teach me a swing out in the middle of a dance floor, crowded with a live band playing. And I don't even remember how long we were out there trying to teach me. And I was just like, I can't. She, like, at some point I was just like, I can't.
Ooh,
and I just
circuit
walked
overload.
off. Yeah, and I just walked back to my seat that was completely empty again, and I just sat down for another hour. So I literally sat down for like 3 hours and watched. But no, it was so like it was just my brain melted
Yeah.
before I danced. And then as soon as it happened, it like completely like left my ear, and I was just like, nope, need to go back and sit down and watch everybody dance.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
The only time that's ever happened to me was way back at the infamous Tuesday night dance in Albuquerque. I was dancing with this guy who I didn't really enjoy dancing with in the first place because he thought he was hot shit, and he was so terrible.
And then you married him, Brett Dahlenburg.
Old Brett Dahlenburg. I love you, Brett Dahlenburg.
Have you seen the strawberries over there?
Oh, they're so expensive. Anyway, we're dancing, and we're doing just like side by side Charleston. And I don't know what he's doing. He's like flanging himself all over the place, like trying to do all these cool fancy variations and stuff. And I'm not doing anything because I was like in this phase where I was like, if he doesn't lead me to do it, I won't follow it.
I mean, that should be on a sticker.
Yeah, right? So I'm just like doing a basic, and he stops dancing and turns to me and puts his hands together like this, and he goes, why don't we just go back to the basics?
Wow. I mean, like to take, like he had. I mean, I feel like that's body language for like I have to calm myself before I say any words.
Let's center ourselves. I was
Oh my
like,
goodness.
okay,
Oh my
mister,
God.
like, let's just stop right there. I
love
cannot
it.
tell
I
you
love
how
it.
many times at that dance where I'd be like dancing with beginners, and they'd be like, oh, this must be your first time here.
Love it. I love it. I love when people just assume things and need to say it out loud. Like,
Right?
we get it. We get it. Like we were talking about earlier, right? Sometimes you just don't connect with somebody you dance with on the social dance floor. You don't have to stop and say like, hey, we should probably just go back to the basics, or like, hey,
Right?
you know,
Like,
why don't you just do? You're a leader.
like
Go ahead and just
why do
start
you have
doing
to
the basics.
stop the dance and turn to me, patronizing me, to be like,
Yeah.
let's just go back to the basic.
I mean, let's as a leader, I feel like I can do this. Like, of course, because I start out of the dance, I don't have to start out at the fucking top of the hill.
Yeah.
I can just like slowly make my way up to the top of the hill and then like see what happens after that. Like, I feel like that's part of the experience. Like, because also most songs start out like that, unless they're like super duper fast and you can hear it like Jumping at Woodside, you know, with that fucking piano intro.
Yeah.
You can hear it's about to explode or anything. But like most other swing songs, like have a nice gentle like rise up,
Yeah.
and then they get into the meat of the song, which is like always pumping, always good times, you know. And so I feel like most leaders can take advantage of that and just be like, just bop around a little bit longer before you like do any rock steps or triple steps, or like just do a couple basics in closed position, like to put it really like straightforward and frank, like just try a couple of those like feelings and then see what happens, and then like gradually grow and see what we can do. It's not that you're testing them. I feel like it's more of just like you're testing yourself, like, and you're testing your connection with somebody.
I mean, if that guy was thinking about the music in any regard, I would have been surprised. But if he was, the chances of us dancing to a rockabilly song at that moment is high. And
Yeah, of
rockabilly
course.
music, it starts high and it's like
Yeah,
it's like this the whole
still,
time.
But
Straight
still, like
across.
even then, like if we don't take it so literal, just follow the song. But if you just kind of like, okay, I gotta feel out my connection with somebody.
Yeah,
Like, do we
yeah.
actually like, are we on the same page like at all? You know, it's a little give and
And
take.
the answer
The leader
was
starts
no.
it, but also
We were not on the same
Exactly.
page.
exactly. And I love that he's just like fucking brings his fingers together, serenity now, and then move on.
Let's go back to the basic.
That's fucking hilarious.
People say
okay.
all sorts of weird stuff to me, though.
Like what else?
Oh God.
What comes to mind? What comes to mind? Anything come to mind?
Oh, people ask a
Like-
lot about my job. People,
While you're dancing?
Yeah. People. Sometimes I get comments about my hair.
Yeah.
Like one time.
I mean, that's from, and is that from people that like don't even know you before, like when you had longer hair?
No. Well, yeah.
'Cause it
I
was
mean,
we- it
yeah,
was-
probably.
It was weird for me because I had seen you one way for so long.
I know.
But like it wasn't weird like, oh my god, that looks horrible. It was like weird. It was
And
like,
you cut it and you were
I gotta
like,
get used to looking at it
"Laura?
like this.
Is that you?
No, because I think you did it first.
No, she cut her hair first. I cut my hair short because I was
Ah.
like, oh, Laura looks pretty good.
I was
And
trying
we
to give
kinda
you the
look
benefit of the
similar.
doubt. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Be like, no, girl, you did it first.
No,
you
girl,
did it
she
first.
totally did it
And then
first.
she copied you. Oh my god.
Oh my God, what a bitch. No, no, I copied her. I'm the bitch.
No one has to be a bitch. Fucking
No,
be cool.
somebody has to be a bitch in this story. Somebody has to. Anyway,
Charlie, back there.
Charlie. Mikey can
Rachel's
see him
cat.
in the background. She's
Rachel's-
just staring,
Rachel's cat.
watching.
Yeah.
I can't remember other things.
Okay.
Like
How about this?
in the moment. Okay.
How about this? Because I got some good stories.
Wait, I go really
Especially
go on, but here we go.
especially is you got one?
I got one.
Do it. Say it.
Okay.
Say it. Before
I mean, but it's
go.
like okay. This
Say it.
this is
Just
like
fucking say it.
this
Go.
is like my
Just-
number
look,
one.
Rachel, would you just fucking say it?
This
oh
is
my
my
god.
number one creme de la creme favorite story to tell about dancing was I was at Atomic and dancing with this guy.
So much free publicity, man.
I don't
So
know.
much-
I don't know who he is, but I see him a lot at the dances, and we were dancing, and he somehow got me in a position where he was behind me, and he had
This is
my
getting
arms.
horrible.
He had my arms out to the sides like this. I'm like
Oh,
making
no.
a T.
The Christ.
He leans in to my ear and whispers, "Titanic."
No.
Yes.
Oh god, no.
He whispers,
God, no.
he whispers Titanic. And like,
I know who this was. Andrew Jose.
no, God, I wish it was Andrew Jose. I wish. Although it would have
Oh
made
my
this
God.
story a lot less funny. So he whispers Titanic, and I am so taken aback by the situation that I burst out laughing because I'm like, what on earth is going on here? Like, who does that? Who whispers Titanic in your ear? What a weird thing to do. But he read my laughter as, oh, we're having fun now.
Oh no.
I was not laughing because I was having fun. I was laughing because the situation had gotten like so incredibly awkward so quickly. So then he does it again. He does it again. I don't know his name, but now I just refer to him as Titanic. Everybody knows him as Titanic.
It'd be really funny though. Like, I mean, that's horrible. Makes me sad for. I'm assuming it's a man. Makes me very embarrassed to be a man. But at the same time, if he had done like other famous scenes from motion
that would have
pictures,
been really
like,
funny.
Like if he had told you to be like run, and then he started rolling after you, and it's like Indiana Jones.
Okay, if he had started doing that, that would have been really funny.
or like do the Frankie points,
Yeah.
and at some point just point at you and be like E.T.
That would have been funny. That would have been a
Yeah.
lot fun. Like, at least that would have like had a shtick. But I think, I wonder. I'm like trying to think back to all of these like weird situations that I have all the time, and I wonder
Yeah.
if it's because like guys are trying to be charming. Because here's the thing, like, whenever I dance with a leader who is female, they never do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Because they've been there.
Yeah. But
it's happened so many times, which is so horrible.
But it's the dudes who like say really strange things, and I wonder if they're just trying to be charming or if they're just like feeling awkward. Like, I don't need them to talk to me. We can just have a dance.
It's gotta be a little bit of both. Yeah, it's gotta be a little bit of both. It's gotta be a little bit of both.
know.
Like, I feel like it's like, you know when people get nervous and they just can't stop talking?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's like
you?
that, around that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just got
actually when
going.
I get actually when I get nervous, I stop talking. You've seen me when I get nervous.
Me too. I can't talk, or I talk too much.
So in closing, with the last kind of feeling of this whole thing, kind of like clothing malfunctions.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all of mine have, like, for whatever reason, happened during contests, and it's always been with the seam of my pants in the
crotchal area.
In the crotchal pantal area of maybe in the no man's land where it just kind of keeps ripping.
Oh man, that's what the French call a le bomber. You're welcome. You're welcome, French dancers out there.
Adam Le Bomber.
I speak French fluently.
Obviously. But yeah, I mean, like, for sure, like, I mean, that's like, it's, I don't know. Like, I just feel like when I was younger, like, I just didn't know how to wear pants. And I feel like that was part of it. Also may have been that I was doing lots of, like, jump splits, like jump up in jazz splits and, like, shit.
The worst one I had was I was in class at Lindy Fest again. Maybe it was the same year that I fell. I can't really remember. 2007. I don't remember. It was a good year. But I was dancing and in class, and somehow somebody unhooked my bra. Like, I think it was a total accident, but it just, like, snapped right open.
Oh my god!
And not like nobody.
That's like really embarrassing. That's like, it's gotta be really embarrassing.
Nobody saw
that
anything.
Feels like
I don't
jingle.
think. But
it's
you
gotta
have
be
to
like feeling, right?
Yeah, but then you feel it, and then you have to like walk over to someone and be like, "Will you lift up my shirt and hook my bra back together? Got to keep the ladies under control over here. Can't let Cletus and Clementine just roam free while I'm Lindy hopping."
Cletus and Clementine?
Really? Yeah.
Really? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I don't need to know the story for that. We're gonna leave that for a whole other day.
There's literally no story to it.
Just two names that popped up in your head. Even if you just made that up right now, like Cletus and Clementine, like, God damn it, you are a genius.
Oh, you're welcome. Autographs after the show. Pew, pew.
Oh my god. So, I mean, we could talk about this all day long. We've had so many bad dances and so many different facets of an idea of a bad dance. But let's move on to the question of the day.
Ye old question of the day.
Rachel, you got our question of the day. I believe it comes from a local guy.
I do. I'm the official question reader. It's from...
Yes, you are, because you're the only one of us that can read.
Heyo! I got a degree in English. I can read. I has read.
I got a degree in nothing.
In nothing. I'm a dropout. I never went to school.
I'm a beauty school dropout.
Beauty school dropout. But that's the only line I know. Sorry. Okay.
Go back to school.
Oh, go back to high school. This is from San Chan.
Sam the Chan man.
Chan. Looking at you, buddy. No, actually.
Looking at you, buddy.
Looking at you, buddy. Sam's question is...
Question.
What keeps you interested in keeping dancing all these years when so many others lose interest eventually one way or another?
All the cocaine that I get every time I dance at Atomic.
I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is about adulting that people lose interest in Lindy Hop. Is it like the going out and drinking with your friends and getting married and having kids, like the jobs? Is it just life? What is it? What do you think it is?
I think I think it's just become one of the so many different things you can do in your everyday life.
Yeah.
That like you can get hooked on it for like a real long time,
Yeah.
and then like drop out, and then feel like nothing. And I feel like that's like a sign of like, I don't know. I want to say hobby, but I was like an artistic hobby, like something that you really love, and like learning the guitar.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some people like really either get into it like crazy and then like become like lead their own band, or like, you know, they start doing gigs on it or something, not necessarily to make money, but just kind of like doing it.
Yeah.
Or you go the other way and you just like something you did. Like you can kind of like, you still have a guitar and like you can still strum it a little bit and kind of understand it, but for the most part, like it was just a period of your life where you're like, I have to be creative in some sort, and I feel like people just need to like get that creativity out and then figure things out. And for other people, it's like they get hooked on that feeling of creativity and the idea of, in this case, since it's dancing, partner dancing, like connecting with other people in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm like a social beast. Like I feel like I get out there and I can talk to
I'm a
rawr
tiger.
at anybody.
Roar.
I'm a tiger. Rawr. I can play a banjo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Deep cut. So I feel like I could do that, but like this brings that kind of social feeling in a whole different way, and like connecting with people in dancing, connecting with them to music. Like it is addicting, and it's really, really fun. And I find constant ways to find myself, or I find constant ways to look at it differently. So it kind of reinvigorates me every once in a while. And not just that, but like so many different things. Like for me, the idea of the dance and keeping me dancing all these years has been mostly just the idea of the creative process, and being like, it gives me an outlet to hear things. And then like, cause I feel like I hear things really well. Like that's one of my ways of learning, or like receiving information, of course, like I hear a lot. And then, so music, and then, but through that, like I come up with some idea in my head or some kind of image. And then through dance, I'm able to make that image happen in reality. So I feel like it kind of feeds that part of my whatever being that makes me want to create something out of seemingly nothing that has happened in my head, and then boom, there it is. So I feel like that's kept me in for so long. But others, I mean, like so many different reasons that people come into this dance.
Yeah. I had no idea how to answer this question. Then as I was listening to you talk, I discovered all the answers.
I mean, this is why we started the podcast, so you can hear me talk
the...
and you can discover all your answers.
Exactly. I mean, here's what I think is, so many people, I mean, like, you do something like a hobby because it serves a purpose for you. Serves something for you. Fun, meeting new people, you know, spending time doing something, gaining a new skill. I feel like probably for a lot of those people who stop dancing, they just find that it doesn't serve them anymore.
Good point. I mean, that is the general idea of it, for sure.
It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I've tried my hand at a fair number of things since I started dancing. And dance is the only thing to this day that I have found that is able to give me a thrill more than anything else. Like, I can have a really awesome swing out and feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like, I get the same feelings as when I'm like falling on a roller coaster and screaming a lot.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, the adrenaline.
Right? Wouldn't that be
the
it?
adrenaline. Yeah. Because like, I don't need to meet new people. I'm married and I have a job and I don't need to stay out super late.
And you're past 25, so you don't need to make new friends anymore.
I'm
I
past
get it.
25. Look, once you're 25, you don't have friends anymore. Just enemies. Bum, bum, bum. Titanic. I mean,
next time I dance with you, we're gonna do all the famous movies.
You know, when I first started dancing, that guy Mike Wing, who helped me get to Sweden, he used to do these.
The
wingman. He used to do these things where he would like swim at me across the room. he would like set me down and then run across the room, and then he would like do a different stroke every time. He would do like every single stroke throughout the dance, but it would be like different points in the dance. But that kind of stuff was like so funny. Or he would just like stop and like bounce up and down and like move all over the floor. Totally goofy and like not musical and not anything.
But also, to be fair, he was like already a friend of yours before that.
No, he wasn't. I didn't know him before.
Oh, he wasn't?
No,
Oh,
I didn't know
okay.
him before this.
Oh.
It was like when I first started dancing. I didn't know him at all.
That's so funny. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I mean, that's why I love this dance as well. Like, there's so many fucking crazy people that like we're like we get a chance to see our crazy kind of come out.
Yeah, it was like just cuckoo banana boat enough for me to be like, okay, I'll get on board with this and see where it goes. And then I like ended up having fun.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how I feel like. Like, I know we danced a couple times, and I feel like they were silly and fun, and that's where I was like, I'm gonna talk to you.
Except for that first dance we had was like not silly or fun at all.
No, nah, that doesn't count.
I don't remember the next dance we had after that though.
It had to be at Lone Star.
Yeah, I feel like it was at Lone Star that following year.
Because I feel like the first couple times we danced was like at a Lindy Fest or something like that.
I feel like it was just that one dance. We had like those really good swing outs, and then the rest of the time it was like really awful. It was really bad.
I mean, I feel like at this point, like we've had the gambit of all the bad and good dances at this point.
It's so true. Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, like so many. Like bad dance is such a general term. Like it's almost like not even the term that I really wanted to go with. I just want to have like, what's the strange occurrences that have happened in the dance for you? Like that's what it kind of should be, like the strange ones. And I feel like through all this talking and all this stuff, like we can all commiserate about like these type of dances, but like in the long run, this is what helps us kind of become a better dancer in some ways. Like it's like we've had these experiences and now we can kind of like sort of learn from them. It's like, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to do what Titanic guy did, or I'm not going to be like be like, hey, look, you're doing really bad at this dance. So I'm going to do this and you're going to have to deal with it. Like, that's what I felt like he's saying on the inside. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't say that. Just do it. And feel it, unless it's hurting somebody, in which case I'm like, hey, you know, like that little hurts a little bit. Could you lay off? Great. That I can understand. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's better ways to go about things. Like, I understand people don't connect. But really, at the end of the day, that's what this dance is again. It's like we just need to learn to connect with other people. And that's my bright side. It's like learn to connect with everybody.
Yeah.
And learning when you don't connect with somebody is really, really strong, really powerful.
Something I've really been... what's a good word? Playing with? Exploring is the word I was... Exploring. Is making jokes to people who I don't know. Like taking a chance on making a joke to someone.
Yeah.
Like, I have this customer who comes into my cafe every day, and he's like a very well-mannered gentleman. And he works for the city, and he comes in wearing a shirt and tie every day. And for a while, he was coming in like every single day at like 11:30. And he would order a latte, and he would have his white collared shirt on and a blue tie. And one day, I was like, hey, man, I just noticed that you always wear a blue tie. Is it your favorite color, or you just happen to not have any other ties? And he was like, oh, I actually had no idea that I chose a blue tie every day. Like, I didn't realize that most of my ties were blue. I just happened to buy blue ties and then wear blue ties. So after that, he started buying new ties. And he was like, Rachel, I'm so glad that you said something, because I was just always wearing blue ties, and now I'm wearing more colored ties.
Now I've left my family.
And
I'm seeking other colors of women. And now I need a whole new life.
You'll love this one. A couple months ago, maybe like a month ago, these two police officers come in early in the morning to my job, and the dude has his fly down. And I feel like most people wouldn't say anything. And I was like, hey, man, I just want you to know that your fly is down. And I'm like handing him his coffee as I'm saying this.
Right.
And I was like, look, like, I just don't want you to go off fighting bad guys with your fly down. Like, you got to be in it to win it. You know what I mean?
Excuse me, Mr. Captain America,
Excuse
sir.
me, sir.
Your fly
is down. I don't know how it is in your spandex, but somehow. But he ended up being really appreciative. He was like, oh, awesome, thanks, and just like zipped it up. It was no big deal at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's just something that I really been...
I mean, that's like you're just being honest with people and being like, hey, I've observed this thing and I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, but I feel like I say it in like a joking way that some people could easily get offended by. And so I'm like taking a risk by like reading the situation, you know, like just that quick interaction of being like, hey, good morning. How are you? What can I get for you to drink? Anything else for you? By the way, your fly is down and I can see your pee-pee.
Is your name Officer Pee-Pee?
Officer Pee-Pee. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that's maybe do a little bit more like that's your personality. Like you have a really good way of like approaching something and like talking about it. And then on top of that, like all your improv stuff that you're doing right now, like it makes perfect sense. Like
now that I'm an actor,
you're like actor.
I am an
and your
actor.
Your observation skills are so much heightened now, and you're able to read the funny and everything now.
Absolutely, because I'm an artiste.
So, is that your bright side?
Oh.
Catching people with their fly down?
I mean, hello.
Hello, Officer Pee-Pee.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, here's my bright side. I've discovered one.
Finally.
Is like, even though in the moment, so many of these experiences, I'm like, I would have been better off in my life not having this experience. They always make such good stories later on that it ends up serving me better than if I didn't have the experience at all.
So true.
Which is like what a weird thing to wish upon yourself, to have bad experiences and awkward situations while you're dancing so that you can have funnier stories later on when you talk to your friends.
So true. I mean, yes, 100%. This is why we also get along, is because we tell so many stories to each other. It's like, okay, so I got this thing. This is what happened. Let me tell you.
You guys also, let me just say that during this entire podcast, Mikey and I have been waggling our fingers at each other the entire time, like doing this little circle thing with our fingers. Like, let me tell you. With a little finger.
To be fair, we started out like we were sassy motherfuckers.
Pants.
And we were just like already there. So I think we're just carrying I was like, I don't even have control of this thing anymore. Now it's just going everywhere.
Sassy pants.
So I think today was really good. This has been really fun. Like I was already in a weird mood, and then I got Rachel in the weird mood because she got home from work, and we were like, let's do this.
From work, you guys. Just another day in paradise over at work.
Feel comfortable.
Working away.
So for everybody out there, again, of course, thank you for listening. This has been The Bright Side. You can catch us on the Facebooks. You can catch us on the SoundClouds. You can catch us on the iTunes. Go to our page and leave us some questions. Tell us your things. Manu, if I fuck up again, just tell me how not to fuck it up. That's what
Mikey's
I would like.
Indeficiencies. We can make a whole Facebook page about it. I'll open
Mikey's
the page
deficiencies.
this afternoon. It'll be so good.
Fuck. Not fair. Anyways, thank you for listening. This has been The Bright Side. Rachel, you are a funny motherfucker. Don't ever change. Also, Titanic.
Mikey, you're a thing. And that's all I have to say about that.
I think that's how I'm gonna end it. It's like, Mikey, you're a thing.
You're a thing.